What's up friends, it's your boy Bernard for Rails, and on this video I'll be talking about being more resilient. Now in Greece, there was a wealthy merchant known as Zeno of Cyprus, and during his many trips as a merchant, he encountered a storm that basically shipwrecked all of his cargo, rendering him effectively poor and a pauper in one day. Now, if some of us happen to be in Zeno's shoes, we would probably complain that life has been unfair to us. Some might even go into acute depression. Some might even literally run mad, but not Zeno. Zeno actually went on to create a new way of looking at the world, and he founded what we currently know as stoicism. And on this video, I'll be sharing with you guys the 4 fundamental principles of stoicism. And hopefully, by the end of this video, you gain something that can make you much more resilient to face your reality. And guys, if you're new to the channel, this is the Bernard for Rails channel where I share with you information that helps you to become the best you that you can be. Now let's get into the video. Now the first principle of stoicism is called wisdom. Now wisdom in stoicism is basically our abilities to differentiate things that are within our control and things that are out of our control. Now in Stoics we call it the dichotomy of control. Now take for example, if I'm applying for a job, during the process of that application, I'm completely hyper-focused on what the employer thinks of me or what the interviewer might feel about me during the interviewing process. Now, that is a complete waste of time because I have no control over whether that interviewer is having a bad day or not, nor do I control the thought processes of my employer at the point of my application arriving on his desk or her desk. But instead, what I can control is the quality of my resume. I can control how presentable I look. I can control how well I'm able to articulate my ideas. Now, these things are completely within my control, and focusing on things that are out of my control is essentially basically useless. Now, the next principle of stoicism is called courage. Now, this is basically our abilities to persist and resist in the face of difficulty. Now, there's a quote by Seneca which goes like this: "We suffer more in our imagination than in reality." Now, most of the difficulty that we face actually come from our judgment about events and not from the event itself. Now, the courage principle of stoicism actually encourages us to work past those self-limiting thoughts that are set out to basically hinder our growth. Because in stoicism, obstacles are basically fuels that propels us towards a higher state of being. Now, the third principle of stoicism is temperance. This basically means doing more with less. Now, this deals with not having yourself being entangled with, let's say, vanity metrics, like say how many followers you have, how many likes you may have, and how much money you may have more than the next guy. But instead, this principle is basically about us accepting what we already have and trying our best to make the most out of it. Now, the last principle of stoicism is called justice. Now, this is basically doing good to others and not just to ourselves. Essentially living a life that is geared towards the betterment of the world around us. Now, this is obviously a rundown summary of the idea of stoicism, but I just hope you learned something that empowers you to face the world in a much more resilient way. And question of the day, if there are points that you heard that resonated with you, please put it down in the comments below so we can be more enlightened like you are. And guys, if you like this video, please like, and if you like this type of content, please subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like the video somewhere on the end screen. And yeah, and guys, if you're really into like Bible stories and stuff, you would notice like there is a huge similarity between Job and Zeno. While I was doing my research, the similarities were quite interesting. Although Job suffered like a whole lot more than Zeno, but nonetheless, this just tends to buttress the point that history tends to repeat itself. Although not in the exact same way, but in really similar situations. Now, this is just me ranting at this point, and yeah, remember to always keep it real. Bye guys.